Let's talk about the concept of sin. Sin is one of those things that when I grew up and I was Christian, traditional Methodist Christian, and even at some point converted into Seventh-Day Adventist Christian, this idea of sin was really heavy. And I mean, it would have me restless, frustrated, feeling shame. And one day I came to an awakening and realizing that, you know what? It's not what everybody makes it out to be. This idea of sinning to act and to be what is quote unquote not in alignment with God is false. It's a myth. The true essence of sin means to miss the mark. It means that you are looking to achieve something, but somehow, some way, you was off target a little bit. And it can look like, well, you were tempted. It can look like you just was in a bad place. It can look like, maybe you just didn't know. It looked like you were around the wrong people. There's infinite reasons why we sin, quote unquote. But really, it's about knowing that you want to achieve a certain goal, that you want to achieve a certain nobility, right? A certain characteristic, a certain value, a certain personality. But for some reason, you missed it. And it's ongoing, right? Like you're trying to be this kind of person. And the idea of not being that person or, for a split second, making a wrong decision results for many of us in this feeling of failure. And the feeling is such that not only are we feeling guilty that we didn't do it, but we feel guilt and shame because we believe that God is ashamed of us for missing the mark, for not doing or being a certain way that was taught to us to be. In reality, though, what missing the mark means is that every time you miss is an opportunity for you to learn. It's an opportunity for you to grow. You see, all of our life, we are failing more than we quote unquote succeed, but we don't realize it. This is the point of our lives, is this idea of missing the mark, meaning that we are constantly adjusting. We are looking a target, looking to achieve something, looking to manifest something, and we are constantly making corrections. It's like the airplane. The airplane, once it takes off, it is seeking to go a certain direction to hit a certain point. But constantly throughout that flight, it is making corrections because it is going off course due to the wind, due to the weather. And so constantly it is making corrections in order to eventually get to the point of destination. The same thing with our bodies. Every time we take a step, we take a walk, we are making a movement, all of these muscle fibers are firing. And they're constantly making these adjustments, just like the airplane, where if you take a step forward, believe it or not, your body is making these minor adjustments, but they're so minor that you can barely notice them. And you're making these adjustments as you are in movement. And finally, when you make that step, then you have achieved this success of understanding, oh, I made the step, then I'm done. But in actuality, throughout the entirety of the process of making that step, your body is making millions of errors because it's firing, it's contracting, relaxing in order to continue on the trajectory that you set forward in your mind. It's like you are visualizing yourself already making a step, and therefore your body is constantly making adjustments in order to actually manifest that in real time, manifest that in this reality, not just in your mind. So we're constantly manifesting, and as we're doing so, we are making the smallest, the most minuscule mistakes along the way. They're just so small that you're not able to notice them right now. But life is all about that. Life is the process of constantly making corrections. It's constantly missing the mark, but correcting yourself as you are going along the journey. correcting yourself as you are going along your path. So this idea of sin is not something that you need to think about as something you've done and you're locked in forever and you'll forever be a failure and God will look down on you. Remember, God is within you. So God is a part of this process of this self-correction. Don't think that God is something separate from you. God is within you. So God within you, the God in you, is actually the navigator, the guiding light that is leading you through your path of manifestation, of satisfaction, of happiness, of fulfillment, of enlightenment, of realization, realizing who you truly are. You just have to continue to have faith in that journey, continue to have faith in every step, continue to learn from every quote unquote sin that you act upon or that you do. And as you do that and you learn, you adjust, you begin to master the process of life for you. So don't look at sin as something that is, that dooms you to a life of eternal damnation. Understand that sin is just a matter of self-correction. It's just a matter of self-awareness. It is a matter of accountability, learning, and then mastering. Thank you so much for listening. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.